you're facing all the audience together, and it's sometimes, but the band guys get overlooked for the John Cougars or the Dee Sniders,
Yeah.
when it really is a band. Your band, John Cougar's band, was a band, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, though, back in that time, people wanted to see a rock star. They wanted to see that, and you look like, come on, your whole thing was like, and so they're like, hey, check this out. I remember seeing The Who many times and didn't appreciate Entwistle, who was holding it together. Because, I mean, look at you. You got to look at the lead singer, Roger Daltrey. Then Pete Townshend's jumping all over the place, and forget about Moon. He's like a nutcase. So your eye didn't even see Entwistle.
And yet, with a drummer like Keith Moon, you had to be a rock on bass guitar because there was nothing steady to hold on to. He was holding up the whole damn band. That
He
guy
was.
You're right, and yet unappreciated. And they wonder why he's just standing there because what a job to just hold that thing together.
Oh, dude, I saw that when we Mellencamp opened up for The Who 3 times, and I happened to be right above looking down on Entwistle, and that's when I went, oh my God, he's the glue. He's running the whole thing. But you guys, I mean, I saw your documentary. It was, that was amazing. Or Twisted Sister documentary. So you guys were in that triangle, right? Was it Connecticut, Jersey, and New York?
Yeah, the tri-state club scene. Yeah.
And you guys, and wasn't the thing that really struck me about that was like, just so that people who haven't seen it, it's like, I mean, you guys were like, you were dominating, you were controlling it, but you couldn't break out of that triangle. You couldn't get signed. So you were like rock gods in this small area, but you wanted more. And I think it took a long time to get signed, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was with the band for 8 years before we got signed. The band existed for 10 years. And yeah, we were this regional phenomenon, and that was drawing thousands, 1,000 to 4,000 fans a night, 5 nights a week, packing these places, losing their minds. Yet the corporate execs, record company execs in the high towers couldn't be bothered to go to the suburbs. And the suburbs are where rock thrives. That's where it lives. That's where it breathes. Yet they could, they were going down to CBGB's and signing a band that had 50 people in the place. Meanwhile, Twisted is across the bridge in Jersey playing for 3,000, and no one's even paying attention at it, looking at us. We were disregarded, rejected by every label about 5 times, and that's not an exaggeration. Ultimately, we went to England and signed an indie deal with a label called Secret, which it was.
Which is a secret.
It was a secret. And I remember first coming back, when we first came back to the States after the Can't Stop Rock and Roll album came out on Atlantic, and meeting fans, and they're going, where's your English accent? And I was like, what English accent? They go, well, we heard about you in the UK, the new wave of British heavy metal. And we were over there, Twisted Sister, these New York dudes in the middle of it all. And people thought we were English at first because we came out of there.
You look kind of English.
Yeah. But a lot of people have done that. I mean, Hendrix had to do that. Joan Jett had to do that.
Yep.
The Stray Cats had to do that.
Wow.
It's a well-worn path. You could go over there. And England, the United States is so huge. Europe is the size of states. England is the size of one of our states. Italy's a state. You go over there. It's easier to get attention in a smaller country, and a country like England has a lot of influence. So you make some noise there, and it echoes back in the United States.
So my gut feelings, I don't know the other guys in the band, but you were the team leader. You were the one that was pushing everything, right? Like, I mean, would those guys have been just comfortable just staying in that tri-state area and, getting laid and being a rock star? Or was it you that was like, no, I can't. I only know you, and you seem like that guy wanted the whole deal.
Well, I think some of the members probably would have, because we were so popular locally. We were making, when I wrote my memoirs called "Shut Up and Give Me the Mic," the bands in the local bar scene were making $1,000 cash a week in the 70s. I found a calculator. That's like $350,000 a year now. So imagine you're 21, you get $350,000 a year, and you're owning, people were buying Corvettes and Mercedes and houses. I mean, $350,000 a year, you could have a nice life. And there were celebrities in their own backyard. It was very easy to, somebody in the documentary called it the velvet noose. It was very easy to fall into that and think, oh, we've arrived. And I would say, a JJ for sure, my guitar player, there was enough of us in the band, the majority, that said, this is not the finish line. And I remember after we started hitting that 1,000 a week, we cut our salaries to $240 a week and put the other $760 each back into demo tapes, back into a new stage show, new costumes, new press kits, just kept reinvesting in ourselves. So we never, one of my favorite phrases, Arnold Schwarzenegger's "Stay Hungry," which was the name of our biggest album. He was like, never lose that feeling you had when you were down and out and starving and struggling. So we always just didn't have enough money to get by, and we always put it back into the band. And, we were one of the bands that broke out. Probably one of the only ones.
Hey, it just made me think of something. I told somebody I was going to do a thing with you, and they sent me this. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, man, that is the OG 24-hour hotline with the original logo on it. Oh, my God.